make them single heroes so you can switch around the heroes or just choose control or something cool with that. It's going to take a long time for them to, so we're not going to see it anytime soon. But that's just crazy to think about all the possibilities, right?
Right.
All right.
That would be interesting, and I'm sure they could make it work.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I have to go on with the show, mate. Is there anything, any last comments? I can talk with you for hours. Maybe we're gonna do that one day. But are there any closing comments you want to give away to everyone that's watching right now?
There's really only one thing that I want to leave in everyone's mind. We are part of a community. Every single one of us is part of a community, whether it's a community of your local, house with your neighbors, whether it's a community of people from your job. This is also a community. The Twitch community, the Marvel Heroes community, we're all part of a community. And really, what I want to just leave everybody with is that if we all respect each other, learn to work together, and work towards helping the devs make this game a better game, there's absolutely no reason why this can't be a classic that will be talked about in 15, 20 years.
Yeah,
There's no
exactly.
reason why this game can't reach the uppest, most highest pinnacle of perfection in gaming. And I really hope that we all keep that in mind and interact with each other and with the devs with that idea.
All right. Um, I totally agree. This is gonna be a cult game that like people remember Diablo 2. 10 years from now, we're gonna remember the Marvel Heroes.
Oh,
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely. All right. There is a few questions for you from the chat. Um, Lunasa has a big question for both of us. Is what do we think about Moon Knight on the test server? Have you tested Moon Knight?
No, I haven't yet tested Moon Knight myself, but I did see some footage of him playing. I think that he's going to appeal to certain people who like that play style. I don't know that I'll be trying him out as soon as he's released, but I will eventually try him out as I will eventually try every hero out.
All right.
Um, I think that he looks pretty cool. Some people were complaining that maybe the cape was a little bit too poofy. I don't know how you feel about that.
Um, could you repeat that question? I'm stuck
The
in
the
something.
cape, the cape, Moon
Oh yeah,
Knight's
yeah, yeah,
cape.
yes.
Yeah, that it looks a little too poofy.
um, apparently, Ryonir said that earlier, and I'm going to bring you back on screen, sir.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, there we go. Let me wait 1 second. All right, I was joking.
Okay.
um, is apparently in the comics, Escape is even bigger. So they especially made it so puffy and big because apparently in the comic Escape is even bigger.
Hmm.
The whole idea behind um, Moon Knight. Apparently, I didn't know the guy before. I must honestly say that I looked up a little bit of that. He wears white in the middle of the night with a huge cape, just so he is noticed by his adversaries. So he gets punched. He wants to get punched and take vengeance, becoming stronger when punched. And
Ah, okay.
that's one of the reasons why it's quite huge. It's by design. Apparently in the comics it's bigger. I haven't seen the pictures, but that's what Rayoni said in his stream.
Hmm.
Um, Another interesting part is I played him a little bit. I'm going to race him as soon as he comes out. Um, just to see how far I can get. I always like that, and especially because then I already have a level 60 very fast. It helps. Is that he gets stronger, like same like Ghost Rider has. If you play him on full health by constantly topping yourself up, which I'm doing on most of my heroes, is that apparently you have to get more damage. You have to play him on like 30 to 50% of your HP, and I find that very interesting.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a play style mechanic that they've been introducing with a lot of heroes now. Where again, yeah, like it seems like the more damage you take, you sort of get a boost from that. I mean, I know Thor has that with Warrior's Madness, that if you proc it when you've got very little health left, you get a substantial amount of DPS out of it, and
Yeah.
it works percentage wise as well for him. So yeah, no, again, I'm excited to try him out, but not when he releases because I've got so many other things in the game that I'm doing now that you know how it is with this kind of thing. If you're working on this and then you drop that and work on that and then keep doing that, well, you're never going to get anything done.
All right. Yep. Um, agree there. Another remark is from Kyokolo. He said they need a new map for PvP, like Midtown, a map where you could capture the flag or King of the Hill, something like that. What do you think of cool modes that they can implement?
Yeah, I want to see all of that stuff, to be honest with you. Like, I don't see why we should limit ourselves as a community, as a game. I don't see why the devs should do that. I don't think that just appealing to like the traditional cookie cutter MOBA style play is a good idea. I mean, it's good to have, two, three, four iterations of that, but why can't we have 15, 20, different PvP modes? Why not?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
why can't we see uh, a player, a particular person in the game, be really good at three or four different types of PvP, but other people be really good at others? Capture the flag would be amazing. It would be, oh my god, like how crazy would that be? Capture the flag, the tactics would be completely different. It would be incredible. Absolutely, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, exactly. There is just they talked about an altered valley kind of area where you have to constantly conquer stuff. You're quest based. I can't wait. I hope they just don't extend it too much. They could just throw it in there and just let the community handle it, right? I mean,
Yep.
you could spend years perfecting it, but yeah, just throw it into the community, get some feedback, and get the people. It gets people going. Also, what I think is a PvP mode, like if as soon as the letters arrive, we're going to see a lot more um, players to view the game as well. Because I don't know if you agree with that. I think you do.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah, even in a PvP state, like I said earlier, what that does is, listen, let's not beat around the bush here. What attracts people to most social dealings is competition, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? So people, although they may not openly say it or admit it, that's why a lot of us do what we do. Many of us, we come to games and we want people to see that we've got a level 60 Spider-Man symbiote with all uniques, all of them amazing, and wow, that a lot of people. That's really why we're there. And so to not have leaderboards, it's sort of like a way to show off what you've accomplished, right?
exactly.
So having those leaderboards for people who do not know about the game yet, and let's say come into it, not having them is a problem. Having them is a great thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and again, if they add it now in a beta state, fine, we'll test it out, see what works, see what kind of stats we want to see on there. I, for one, personally would like to see all sorts of stats. Like I'd like to see assists. I'd like to see who takes the most damage but dies the least. All that stuff. I want to see all
Yeah,
sorts of stats, and that in turn will help them slowly over time balance the game more and more and more.
yeah. I totally agree there, and I hope they bring it out pretty soon. Um, and yeah, it's also a way for, like you said, people like to watch competition. And now, basically, what we can do as streamers is basically we could do some giveaways, we could do some stuff together, which is it's amazingly fun. I mean, try the new hero, show the new hero, show power, show costumes, stuff like that. But having that leaderboard extra, I remember in the Asgard opening event, the viewers just went up. You reached 100 viewers, where now, yeah, I must say we are growing. I like that. I like to see that. But um, um, there is just more interest in the game when there is leaderboards, and it's just how it is. And I think that's a good thing. So bring them.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, let me just one thing, not to be negative, but it has to be said, and I'll put a positive spin on it. I do remember that when you were doing that, there were a lot of people who weren't very happy with you and weren't very happy with others who were doing
I
it,
know.
and they took the stance that it's like, oh, you're cheating because people are helping you. Let me remind everyone that this is an action RPG slash MMO. The MMO stands for Massively Multiplayer Online. It is a community. It is a huge community effort that is going to get things like that done. There's no problem with that. There's no cheating or manipulating or anything. If you are part of a group that is well put together and gels well together, or if you're a streamer and you've got, dozens of people that come in and give you stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. That's cool. And when you were doing that, I don't think at any point did I ever jump in there and see you going, "Yeah, I'm better than everybody. Look at me," because that was, first of all, that's not who you are, and second of all, how ridiculously childish and juvenile would that be, right?
I know.
So there's no reason to. Again, if we respect each other and we treat this like a true community, always with respect towards one another, there should be no issue. Whether they put leaderboards and you're on top for a week or someone else, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, it just helps the game grow.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Yeah, I remember that there was it really hurt me because all the stuff that I've been doing since launch for the game. I mean, it's not doing stuff, I just playing the game. But I mean, you try to bring the best out of the game. You're constantly positive. You just enjoy the game so much. You want this game to grow. You're supporting it
Yeah.
by all means that you can as a streamer. And there's another discussion. I'm not going to go into that people say that don't really value that. That's perfectly fine. It's just that yeah, I never wanted to be top 10 until I got there with dumping everything, and then crazy stuff happened. But yeah, let's not go pretty much further into that one.
Yep.
But I totally agree that leaderboards will just have people interest. It's gonna be fun to compete. It's just that's why it's a game. Like an Olympic game is also a game where you want to get the gold medal. But even if you're 20th, you're still gonna have a good time because playing in the Olympics, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, I agree. And again, what does that do? Ultimately, it furthers the event itself. Somebody wins gold, people are going to want to figure out how that person won gold.
Yeah, exactly. It happens in a lot of MMOs where just people show specific ways to grind or specific ways to collect money or to play the auction house, stuff like that. It's just gonna generate interest. So let's go. We can still got some more questions. Resibear asks, 10 years from now, are you still gonna play Marvel Heroes? Yes.
Oh,
I
hell
will.
yeah.
I will be. This is game is
I,
for me. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
absolutely. I think imagine how crazy it's going to be. If they keep adding more content, which why wouldn't they, right? Imagine how crazy the game is going to be in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And let's not forget how much more they have to add as far as heroes, uh, anti-heroes, like Magneto who's coming around the corner, things like
Venom.
that. And Venom. You know what? There's no reason to doubt that eventually, I don't want to start any rumors, right? Maybe there'll be a Marvel villain, you know? Maybe eventually they will add something like that. So this game has nothing but sky up above it,
Yeah.
you know?
If you look at a game like League of Legends, you log in now, you can choose between 100 heroes, and in a few years, if 3 years, when it's still in the early 5 years, it's going to have 60 heroes,
Yeah.
70 heroes, with constantly redesigned and constantly added skills. Because what they do as well is if they put a yank like that you yank a villain towards you, they implement that on other heroes that could have that skill as well. They did it to Spider-Man, they did it to other people. So as the more tech they get, the more evolving will your old hero be, and that's one of the things that is appealing to me. I like a barbarian, pun
Yep.
intended,
Yep.
but I'm not. I don't have the urge to go back to my barbarian to see how he plays now because he was just a barbarian. But I will always have wanting to know, even if I would stop the game for a year, I would like to come back and see, hey, how is Spider-Man playing right now? What have they changed? And I think the IP helps them there as well.
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic IP.
All right. The last questions because I actually have to go on. We're already past the hour. Um, GT Sober says, I would like to make a suggestion to the pets you purchase for like $10. Instead of just having them for looks and show, thus giving them a function sound. For example, picking up loot, you can set them to pick up cosmics or uniques only. I know some games have that feature. I have never played a game that does, but what do you think about that?
Personally, I did play Torchlight 2 for some time. I thought it was a pretty good game. I thought it was one of the most appealing aspects of that game is that yeah, you had this pet and you could morph the pet, how it looked. The pet could you could give it I forget if they called them like potions or talismans or whatever it was, but you could morph the way the pet looked. The pet did something. It actually fought on your behalf, and you could also adjust how it fought. Was it more defensive? Was it more offensive? Would it heal you? Would it heal itself? All that sort of stuff, and also pick up